Welcome to the channel, guys. We are back again, and today we're going to be doing a fragrance battle between Creationy Parfum Cologne and Creationy Parfum. So stay tuned for that. If you like the content, guys, hit that like and subscribe button. I really do appreciate it. The Parfum Cologne line was actually released in 2019, although Elysium, the first Parfum Cologne, was released before that, and it replaced a lot of the EDP concentrations of Roja's fragrances. And so some people have really wanted to know how the Parfum Cologne compares to the Parfum in terms of performance, smell, and those kinds of things. So today I'm going to be comparing these two fragrances, and I'll give you my overall opinion on both of them. So Creationy, or Enigma as it is called outside of North America, is probably one of the more popular fragrances, and this one is one that is very well composed as a masculine fragrance. The Parfum Cologne opens up with a fresh, light, fizzy cola vibe, and I do get a hint of tobacco in there with all of that fizzy cola. I don't get a lot of the cognac in this one actually, and as it dries down, I definitely get a lot less of the fizziness. The fizziness only for me and for my nose and on my skin lasts about, I want to say 10 to 20 minutes before this one starts to settle down into a sweet tobacco with something that gives me this sort of cocoa vibe. And ultimately, it is what I consider to be an excellent fragrance, and it does definitely stand out as a masculine tobacco fragrance. So how does this compare to the Parfum concentration? So in the Parfum concentration, I actually get a much richer, darker composition. So I definitely do get that fizzy cola vibe. It's actually stronger and longer lasting on my skin, so I probably get around 20 to 30 minutes of the cola, and it does certainly push off my skin a little bit more. It's definitely a little bit more pronounced. The tobacco is also heavier, and I feel like it's definitely a little bit more classy, a little bit more luxurious, but ultimately in the opening, these ones are very, very similar. And I'll say that if I actually go from smelling one to the other, often, especially if I start with the Parfum first, if I smell the Parfum Cologne after, I actually can't smell it. So the Parfum concentration is a lot stronger, and it does give me a sort of anosmia to this fragrance. In the dry down, these two are remarkably similar, although I get more of this sort of chocolatey cocoa kind of vibe with the tobacco in this one. I don't get that as much as this, but that masculine, straightforward tobacco that you do find in both of these fragrances is definitely, to me, the main player. But side by side, they're actually very, very hard to distinguish in the dry down, and I think both of them do smell very, very similar. And that is actually the idea. This is supposed to be a fresher, lighter take, and I think especially in the opening, that's a lot more evident. This is darker and a little bit richer, and definitely a little bit more luxurious feeling, especially in the opening, than this one. The performance on both these is also absolutely great, so I get 8 to 10 hours easily with this one. It lasts on clothes, on test strips for days, so it is a definite performer. Pretty much the same story with this one, 8 to 10 hours easily, although sometimes I would get more than that. And I will say the one thing is that both of the oils, both of the juices of these are quite dark, so I wouldn't spray this on a light shirt for sure, because there is a good chance that it could stain. I haven't actually tried this out, but I see that possibility because when I spray both of these on test strips, they leave quite a nice dark, oily mark where the juice is. In terms of preference, I do actually prefer this one just a little bit. It has a nice, light, fresh opening, but not super fresh, and it does have a very similar dry down, although I do get somewhat of a cocoa-y, chocolatey vibe that I don't really get in this one. I should also mention on the price point or the price value proposition, this one is priced significantly less. I believe it's $290 USD for 100 ml, whereas the Parfum concentration, if I recall, is over 300 for a 50 ml. So you get twice the juice and it is cheaper. So I do think ultimately, in my personal opinion, this is the one that I'll own, and this is the one that I will always own. I don't know that I will get enough out of the Parfum concentration to warrant buying it, especially with the extra price. And ultimately, they're very similar. So I think a lot of people would have a difficult time really telling these two apart. But anyways, guys, that is it for this one. Leave a comment down below. Which of these two do you prefer and why? And as always, guys, don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button. And I'll see you guys in the next video.